I never thought betrayal could be quiet. No screaming, no slammed doors, just silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears until you realize something's missing. My name is Rio, I'm 34, and my family abandoned me and my 10-year-old daughter in the middle of Blackthorn Forest with nothing but a note that said, "This is for the best. Trust me." That was their way of leaving us to die. Before I tell you how we survived 10 days out there, make sure to comment where you're watching from, because I need you to imagine yourself in my shoes. I was never the favorite. That title belonged to my brother, Nathan. The lawyer. The golden boy with his polished wife, perfect kids, shiny house in the suburbs. My parents adored him. Their fridge was covered in his family portraits, his children's trophies. My life? My art shows and therapy programs got buried under grocery lists. I was the black sheep, the disappointment. 3 years ago, my marriage fell apart. My ex moved across the country, and I raised Maya alone. I left my corporate job for art therapy, less money, but meaningful. My family didn't see it as noble. They saw it as failure. "How will you ever provide stability for Maya?" my mother snapped one Sunday. "You can barely take care of yourself." Nathan added, "You're raising her soft, just like you. She'll never survive the real world." His words cut deeper than he knew. Maya wasn't soft, she was perceptive. Sensitive. The kind of child who could feel tension before anyone said a word. I almost skipped the annual camping trip that year. But Maya begged me to go. She wanted to see her cousins, Tyler and Elise. Despite Nathan and his wife, the kids were kind to her. So, against my better judgment, I loaded up my old Honda and drove us 5 hours into Blackthorn Forest, not knowing I was driving straight into a nightmare. The first 2 days were tense but normal. Nathan mocked my car for barely making it up the hills. My mom compared Maya to her cousins, why she didn't play soccer, why she didn't act more normal. My dad ignored her, only giving attention to Tyler as he taught him to fish. Still, there was something off. Hushed conversation stopped when I approached. Nathan obsessively studied maps and snapped photos of trails. My parents, who usually overlooked Maya, suddenly asked her questions about school and friends in a way that felt forced, unnatural. On the third morning, my mother suggested we check out a waterfall. Her voice was casual, but her eyes never met mine. "The light is perfect for pictures," she said. She had never cared about my photography before. I should have known. But Maya was already grabbing her boots, her little bag for collecting rocks. She wanted to go, so I went. The trail was steep, but beautiful. Pine needles crunched under our feet. Sunlight dripped through the trees in golden threads. The roar of water pulled us forward. When we reached it, Maya gasped. The waterfall looked like it belonged in a storybook, silver ribbons pouring into a crystal pool. We sat together on the rocks, her feet dangling in the water. "Dad," she asked, "how do you know when to trust your gut?" I pulled her close. "That little voice inside you. That's your intuition. It'll protect you when nothing else can." She nodded, her eyes big and serious. I didn't realize how bitter those words would taste hours later. When we returned, the clearing felt wrong. Too still. Too quiet. I stepped out from the trees, and froze. Everything was gone. The tents, the food, the cars. My family. All that remained was a single folding table. On it, a note, held down by a rock. Nathan's handwriting. "This is for the best. Trust me. Learn self-reliance. We'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. My chest went cold. Maya tugged on my sleeve. "What does it say, Dad?" My throat tightened. I lied. They had to go for supplies. They'll be back soon. But inside, I knew. They hadn't left us behind, they had erased us. Night came fast. I built a lean-to from branches, my hands shaking. Rain started, soaking through the gaps. Maya curled against me, shivering. "Why would they do this, Dad?" she whispered. I had no answer. So I lied again. "We'll be okay. I promise." I didn't believe it, but she needed to. Morning brought cruel reality. A half-empty water bottle. One granola bar. A pocket knife I'd forgotten I had. A lighter. And Maya's little bag of rocks. That was it. No tent, no food, no map, no signal. I remembered a river east of camp. If we found it, maybe it would lead us out. We split the granola bar, crumbs, really, and started walking. By noon, we reached the river. Cold, clear, merciless. I tried to spear fish with a sharpened branch. Failed again and again. Maya found bright red berries. Were they safe? I couldn't risk it. Hunger twisted my stomach, but I shook my head. Not these. She didn't argue. That night, under another fragile shelter, I told her the survival rule of threes. 3 minutes without air. 3 hours without shelter in harsh conditions. 3 days without water. 3 weeks without food. She looked at me, small but steady. "So we'll be okay, right?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, we'll be okay." Inside, I was breaking. On day 2, her fever hit. Her forehead burned hot against my palm. I tore strips from my shirt, soaked them in river water, pressed them against her skin. I stayed awake all night, whispering stories, promises, prayers. By day 3, fog swallowed the forest. I lost the river. Hunger gnawed at us both. When we stumbled on a hunter's cabin, my heart surged, until I saw the padlock. Abandoned. Empty. Rain poured, drenching us. We crawled under a rock ledge, shivering uncontrollably. "Are we going to die here?" Maya's voice was a whisper. "No," I said firmly. "Not while I'm breathing." But in the dark, I heard Nathan's mocking voice in my head. "You wouldn't last a night out here without your gadgets, city boy." Maybe he was right. But he hadn't accounted for one thing. I wasn't just a man in the woods. I was a father. That made me dangerous. Day 4, Maya's fever came back worse. Her cheeks burned red, her eyes glazed. "Dad, I'm so hungry," she whispered. The words shattered me. I turned over a rotten log. White grubs writhed in the wood. My stomach churned. But this wasn't about comfort. This was survival. I picked one up, shoved it in my mouth, chewed. It was slimy, bitter, revolting. But it was food. I looked at Maya. "Your turn, explorer." Her eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. She trusted me. She ate. In that moment, everything changed. I realized my family hadn't abandoned me to teach me a lesson. They hadn't left me behind to toughen me up. They had wanted me gone. Wanted Maya gone. But they underestimated the fire of a father with nothing left to lose. We lasted 10 days in that forest. 10 days of hunger, sickness, rain, fear. We came out scarred. Changed. But alive. And one day soon, I'll stand in front of the people who tried to bury us, my parents, my brother, and I'll let them see what they created. Not the black sheep. Not the screw-up. But a man reborn in betrayal and wilderness. A father who proved them all wrong. So, if you were me, standing in that empty campsite, holding that note, what would you have done? Tell me in the comments. And subscribe, because this story isn't over.